Hello everyone, I wanted to go over upgrading the Well AK74u. This is right here, of course it's kitted out, it's the Well AK74u. I'm going to go over some of the upgrades I did, but the main upgrade I actually did was the nozzle in the AK is absolute trash from Well. And Well is just a knockoff brand, essentially, of the WE brand. And this is a gas blowback, of course. So the nozzle in it from Well is a very thin, brittle plastic. I played a few games with it, and it completely shattered. I tried to repair it with super glue, but it did not work. So I'm actually going to show you and dig into the rifle. I'm not going to take it completely apart, but I'm going to show you how to take it apart, since I have not found any videos on that and I had to learn how to do it myself, and it's not complicated, but it was kind of confusing doing that. I'll also take apart the bolt completely and show you the nozzle with that, and I'll show you the old nozzle as well and compare it as well. They do come with Well magazines, which are just knockoff WE magazines. So this is the Well magazine. Looks just like the W ones. I'd still recommend getting the W magazines. All you have to do is shave them a little bit to make them go in smoother. Otherwise, they're really tight to get in, and it releases some gas as well when you do that. So shaving it definitely does help the W mags. But with these, you can actually reseal them because they do leak out of the box. This one, only a few days old. I got my AK a few days ago. I painted everything. But this is the automotive RTV I use to seal all my Well magazines. Once you seal them, they're great. I haven't had any issues since sealing them. So I'm going to go over that Well. I'm going to take that completely apart, show you how to do it, since I still need to do it to this one. And I guess we'll go ahead and get into it. Alright, so this is the Well AK74u. I got it all nice kitted out with my Terra kit, my Drazina kit from Milsim West. Essentially the first part is I'm going to go ahead and open up the rifle and pull out the bolt and just show you it. And as well as I'm going to go ahead and actually take the bolt apart to show you the comparison between the old Well nozzle right here. This one's still good. I broke the other one, but these ones are really trash. I mean, I would probably just keep it as a backup, but nothing more than that. And honestly, I would just get some extra WE nozzles. So let's go ahead and get into it. So right here, if you're wondering what this foam is, with the Well, the stock plate inside of it actually holds the pin and the stock together. That plate is actually made out of cast alloy, not sure, maybe cast steel, maybe cast aluminum. But it can be brittle, especially over time when the bolt keeps going back. It'll eventually keep hitting and just shatter that off. That's been apparently an issue. I haven't ran into it myself since I recently got this one, and I've had some of the 74Ms. But the solution that I was told was just put some padding in between the this little holding plate and the bolt, so it kind of shock absorbs it, and it also short strokes the bolt, so it ends up being more actually gas efficient as far as I'm aware. So it's going to take out the bolt right here. All you have to do is take out the plate and the spring, and you're golden. So right here, this is the bolt, and this is just a charging handle nub that I bought. You can find those. LCT makes them, several other companies make them. You can get them from Alibaba. But the main thing here is the actual bolt. And this is where the nozzle is. This is the WE nozzle. And right here I want to show you is that the plastic right here, right next to the O-ring, and the bottom is just like right past this, is way thicker than the well right there. So this right here, the plastic right here before the O-ring, will actually shatter as you use this, and it does not last very long. As far as I can tell, this has lasted about 5 games so far. So basically 5 half-day games. And it's been working great, and it's been winter, so that's fine. So essentially how to take this apart is that there's 2 screws right here, one right here, and one on the other side. You just want to take those out, just normal screw heads. And right at the back here, there is a pin, and you would want to take a 1/16 punch. One right here. Oops. So this is a 1/16 punch. You can get a punch set from Harbor Freight for $5-10. I don't remember exactly how much. And you want to do it on one side, the side that has the deeper indention. So this side right here is not deeply indentured. So this one is a lot deeper. So I would actually put this in and hammer it out. I'll go ahead and do that really quickly. So as you can see right there, the pin fell out as I punched it out. And on this pin, on one side you'll see some, if I can actually get it to focus, but there's some ripples. I'm not for sure how to explain it, but those basically lock in the pin on the side that needs to be punched in. So I would basically punch it in this way, since the ripples are on this side, so it locks in the pin once it's put in. So let me take that back out. And right there, the spring released from the pin that holds it into the bolt, and I just have to unscrew this. You don't have to take these all the way out, just enough to let the nozzle get past. So that should be good right there, and nozzle comes straight out. And as well, one thing I forgot to mention, so this is the WE nozzle. This plastic part right here before the O-ring is a lot thicker. The back part really doesn't matter too much. It's about the same thickness. But this is the nozzle return spring. It's also, there's a pin about right there that you can punch out to actually release the spring from here and actually take this completely apart. And you can put an end pass in here. I'll link the end pass that I'm getting for this in the video description. But like I was saying, this is the nozzle return spring, and it is so much better than the well. So actually this is one I upgraded in the well, but it's too long, so I actually kind of mangled it up trying to cut it. But the spring that comes with this is very weak. Once the bolt releases, once basically a bolt goes back, the nozzle return spring won't really work. So that's another issue with these. So once you get your W nozzle in the mail, it'll have the nozzle or the return spring in it. All you do basically is make sure you have the well one out. You just line it up here so the gas port is at the top or bottom, and just put in here. Fasten these 2 screws, and what you want to do for the pin, look at some sort of light source so you can actually see through the pinhole, and you'll want to basically slowly slide this in so you can see the little wire of the spring eye go past the hole. then you can go ahead and just keep it secure like that and put the pin in and just hammer it in. It might take you a few tries, but it's really not that hard. And once you do that, screw these back in so it doesn't come all the way out when you go like this. And you can basically just slide this back into the AK. So that's the main thing that you want to actually do with this gun to make it feelable. Alright, so to actually take off the stock handguard that's on this, it's just a plastic polymer handguard, and you want to put a B11 handguard on like this one. There are a few others, but this one's my favorite. I got off my other AK. You will have to actually take this whole front post sight off, since the well AK, this piece right here, so from here all the way back to right there, is supposed to actually lift out when you bring up the dust cover. That's how it's normally held on. Pretty sure most of you know that. But with this one, it's kind of annoying to do, but it's not too hard. So first you want to take off any muzzle device. Then on this post right here, there's one grub screw on this side, one on the bottom, and one on the other side, and this little pin right here that you can use the same punch that you use for the nozzle to get that out, just a 1/16 punch. Once that's out and you have the muzzle device off, you can actually slide this whole front piece off. So I actually knocked the camera there for a second. But like I was saying, so once you take out those 3 grub screws and that pin with the punch, this whole unit slides forward once you get the muzzle device off. And with that, this piece right here is part of attached to this. But anything past this is basically its own separate unit. So this whole handguard will basically slide out this way, and there is a metal tube under the handguard that goes into the trunnion right here. That basically just comes out with this. It's just press fitted into this. And to actually fit the B11 handguard on this and actually clamp it together, on the inside of the bottom of that handguard right there, you will have to take a Dremel, or the more annoying part, you'll have to take sandpaper and basically make just like a V groove. Like if you're looking at it straight down like this, you have to make a V groove right under the section where it meets the B11 handguard to actually press fit it in. It took me quite a bit of time to actually Dremel out enough to do that, but it really doesn't affect the actual look on the outside. So once you do that, you might have to clamp it a bit. I did have to actually slide the front trunnion piece back on while clamping it, and just put the grub screws back in, and essentially you are golden for getting the handguard on. So it's not too hard, it's just kind of annoying. And of course, past that, I might make a video eventually replacing the bucking and barrel in this when I actually get the parts to do so. But those are the 2 main things. One's cosmetic and the nozzle's internal, so that's a must to do if you own one of these. And as well, just so you're aware, if you get, I forgot what, I think this is the B18 front sight mount. If you get one of these, you will actually have to Dremel or shave some of the metal off right here and the back right here to actually fit it in, since the front sight right here is a lot thinner than an AEG one. So one other thing I wanted to go over was the gas I used, especially for colder times of year during winter and fall. I live here in Tennessee, so it does get quite cold here. It's been getting around the 30s and low 20s some days. And with gas guns, with green gas, that really doesn't cut it. I can't even go through a full mag of this 30 rounds with when I filled it completely full, even just using a semi-auto. And this is $12 at my local airsoft store. So what I actually used, and I had to do a bit of digging, not so much for the just straight propane that I get from this brand. You just get the propane adapter from store or e-bike or wherever for that. And this works great for winter. But what I found, and I'm not sure if it is a slightly high pressure, which I'm pretty sure it is, I think it's like 10, 20 psi. Not entirely for sure. The best gas that I found, and actually thanks to a post in the gas blowback subreddit, is that I think it's propylene or the MAP gas that you can get at hardware stores. This is $12 a can, the same price as green gas, and you get 14 ounces in this, and I believe this is 8. Yeah, this is 8 ounces. So you just get more in this. But this definitely does work better in the winter. I used that in my last game. It's great. But it also stinks worse than the propane, which if you're outdoors, it's not really a big issue. But this propane is probably the best because this is $3.50 at my local Walmart or any other big box store. And I could get 4 of these, and it's 14 ounces as well. And that's great. As long as you can stomach the smell of these, they're great. And I only have green gas on backup for more of the summertime just because it's more convenient. But I mainly use these, so I just want to go over that, since if you have any questions of if you can use propane out of these blowtorch bottles or even the MAP gas. Now there's the red bottles that are pure oxygen. I don't think you can use those, not entirely sure. Maybe sometime I should test that. Might be dangerous, but don't try that at home. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take apart the well mag that came with my 74U when I got it a few days. And just as a, just so you're aware, this is a WE magazine, Bakelite, I love it. But on the back of it, like I was saying, right here, along this plastic and this metal right here, it would be best to get a Dremel. You could probably use sandpaper, but it probably wouldn't work too well. And basically just kind of sand this a little bit, keep inserting it into the AK, and just keep doing it a little bit till it gets a bit easier to actually go in. With these WEs, you kind of have to hook it when you first get in, then hit it in really quickly. And if you shave off a little bit, it'll make it slide in a bit better so it doesn't always hit the gas nozzle. Because sometimes it'll do that, and it's a little hard to get the WE ones in the well, but I like how they fit. They fit a lot tighter than the well magazines. These ones still fit great, but these ones definitely feel more secure, in my opinion. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is take this one apart, because I gotta actually seal this one because it's not sealed. It was leaking in the middle of it, where the metal casing underneath the plastic here. So you'll need a few tools, mainly just a punch to get a couple pins out at the top here, and you'll need this to actually get the main screw off the out of the metal casing, so you can actually pull it apart. So I will go ahead and do that. So you want to take this plate off, and just kind of slides down. And right there you have the fill port. You can fill it with the thing off or without it. Then there is the Allen key screw that's long, and it goes basically all the way down through it. So make sure the gas is out, so no gas in it. And first of all, we'll go ahead and punch these pins out. There's one right there and one in the middle right there. The WE ones don't have these. So just look for the indent. On this side, the pins are more indented in, so that more than likely means they need to be hit from that side. So get a hammer, get a little hammer, get something hard. Just kind of You might have to lift it up a bit, but the pins will come out. So as you can see, the pins are coming out. Now, the other one's kind of more stiff. It is best to put something underneath it like that so you can actually hit the pin out. Sometimes if it's stuck, you might have to get pliers. Alright, there you go. Have to hit it hard to actually get it out sometimes. Oh, but then when you do this, this will want to pop out and have a bunch of BBs in here. Be careful with this because the follower and spring will pop out. I almost lost a follower. So just... Alright, there's the follower and there's the spring. Make sure you don't load BBs on it before. That's kind of annoying. Alright, but as you can see, so if you... It's the same principle with the W, so if you ever need to replace these, because the things knock off, you can probably find the lips pretty easily for the W's. Not so much for the wells. But, as you can see, the pins are gone, and you can actually slide the metal casing out of the plastic casing, so there you go. So that's it. And you want to be careful. Right here is the lockup. So when you fire your last shot, it doesn't actually pull the. When you pull the trigger, it doesn't actually depress the thing, and it basically stops because there's no rounds in the thing. So you just want to kind of keep that all together because I did take it apart and it kind of messed it up. So I would recommend just getting some tape or something and tape over it. I'm gonna do that really quickly. Alright, so I just got some medical tape because it was right next to me. And I'm just gonna tape that down so that way it doesn't fall out and mess up the last shot, because I messed up the last one and I won't do it anymore. But as you can see right there, it is 3 sections, so there's O-rings between these cracks right here, and we'll need to replace those, but we're not going to be replacing them. We're going to be putting the RTV sealant all around it, and you can be liberal with this, but you're going to have to let it cure for at least a full day, because if you don't do that, it'll actually burst out and you'll have to do it again, and it'll be messy. So take a large Allen key, just like this one, and basically put in, and lefty loosey, righty tighty. There we go. And as long as screw's gonna come right out, and there is, I believe there should be an O-ring right here at the end of it. If there isn't, it's not too big of a deal, but you could get some O-rings from Harbor Freight and put them on there. That's what I should do, but I won't. I'm just gonna put RTV around it. And right here, as you can see, I'm gonna start breaking that off. So first section out with the fill nozzle, and right there you can see the O-ring, the really bad O-ring that likes to leak a lot. So we're just gonna take that completely out, clean the there's some silicone oil because I filled it up and it leaked, so we're gonna clean that up. I'm gonna take this other section apart. Oh, I forgot, in the other section there is another screw, so you're gonna have to take the long end and feed it into there, and you'll see the screw head. This one might be a little tough to get to. And you can also clean out your mag because dirty stuff fell out of it. And of course, pop off the next section. And at this point, go ahead, and this section has both the O-rings, so go ahead and pop those off. And I can already tell they're splitting. So take these off, get rid of them. Get rid of it. And just get some paper towels or something. I think I have something over here. Yeah. I just have some napkins. You just have to get the grease off the ends so the RTV will stick to the actual casing and not to a bunch of oil and work properly. Go ahead and do it for the insides of that as well. Alright. And definitely get some paper towels for this part, some napkins, quite a few, because this will get a bit messy with RTV. And you can get this at AutoZone, all the auto places. And basically, just need some. And I just like using just an Allen key or something to get some of the actual RTV started. You mainly just want to put it on this section right here, where the O-rings came off, and just be very liberal with it because we're not using the O-rings. And this stuff will essentially turn the rubber, so you don't have to worry about it getting into the gas in your gas system because it will be cured by then.